Thanks for joining us again on the Bahamian Mathematics YouTube channel. Today we will be looking at how to create a frequency table from a given set of data. We will look at how to organize a set of raw data into a frequency table that we can better understand. Let's have a look. Let's pretend we took a survey, and the survey asked the question, how many pets do you have? And here is the data that was given from the set of students that were surveyed. And you can see that the numbers are all scattered around, and there's no organization to them whatsoever. How do we tell what this data means? Well, we would have a better idea if we organize the data into a frequency table and we group the data into separate categories so that we can see how many people indicated the number of pets they had. And so we take the numbers and start to see which numbers we have in the data. And we can see that we have a 0. We also see the number 1, and the number 2 is there. There are 3s and 4s and 5s. There are no other numbers besides 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so we can use those as our categories in the table at the left. And so we will number them from 0 straight to 5. Each number has its own category. And this is because we will count how many zeros there are, how many ones there are, and so on until we're finished. And so let's start with the number of students who had 0 pets. And so we'll look at the data on the right. Here's the first 0, and every time we see that 0, we will put a stroke inside of the 0 column. A very small line from top to bottom, signifying that is one of those items. Here's another 0, so we put another stroke in that column. That's now 2. Here's another 0 in the data, and we put another stroke. And if I look at the data, I don't see any more zeros, and so we're finished. And we know that that is 3 zeros in the data. So 3 people had 0 pets. Let's start with looking at how many ones there are. Here's 1, and so we put a stroke in the 1 column. Here's another 1, another stroke, another 1, another stroke, another 1. There are a lot of 1s. Here's a 4th stroke, and here's another 1. And when we get to the 5th stroke, we do something special. We put a diagonal line across the 4 lines so that signifies that is a group of 5. It makes it easy when we count them later on. And now we continue with the next one, a single stroke, and so on. Here's another 1, another single stroke, another 1, single stroke, and there are no more 1s, and so we are done. And we can see that a group of 5, and then 3 more strokes, 5 plus 3 gives us 8. Let's see how many people had 2 pets. So we will find the 2s. Here's a 2, that's a single stroke, another 2, another stroke, another 2, another stroke, another 2, that's 4. Here's another 2, and so we make the diagonal stroke now to make that a group of 5. Continuing, another 2, another 2, another 2, one more 2, and I see one last 2, and we make the stroke diagonally to make another group of 5. And so 5 and 5 gives us 10. Now let's go to the number of students who had 3 pets. Here's a 3, we put a stroke, we continue locating the 3s, and every time we see a 3, we put a stroke. When we reach 4, if there is a 5th one, we place the diagonal line to make 5. And so how many people had 3 pets? There were 5 people. Now let's go to the number 4. Here's 1, we put a stroke, 4, a line. Here's another 4, another line, another 4. And when we get to the 5th one, we put the diagonal to make that 5. One more. 5 plus 1 gives us 6. And lastly, how many people had 5 pets? We can see that there are 2 5s. Here's one 5, one stroke. Here's another 5, another stroke. And now we can see there are 2 5s. What if we wanted to find out, though, how many people were asked this question? How many people existed in this group? We can take time to count one by one all of the numbers on the right. That would take a little too long. And so all we need to do is to locate the table on the left and add the numbers at the bottom. So when we add 3 plus 8 plus 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 2, we get a total of 34. And so there were 34 people in the survey. What if we use the survey, what ice cream flavor do you prefer from chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry? Well, here's the data that we collected, and again, they're all random and mixed up. They're in no particular order. But because we know that we only have 3 flavors, we could create a table like this, and we can put C for chocolate, V for vanilla, and S for strawberry at the left in the first column. That gives us the second column to write our tally marks. And so we can start on the right with the first C, and we can place a stroke next to C. Now, instead of finding all of the C's first, what we can do is one by one we can go through every letter, and when we come across the letter, we just find it in the table and put the marking, the tally mark, next to that letter. And so let's go to V. We put a tally mark by V. Here's another C, another V, a C again. We put a mark by C. Here's another V. Here's an S, so we put a mark by S. A C, we put a mark by C. Another S, another C. This time we put it diagonally to signify that's a group of 5. S again, V again, C again, V, that makes 5. S, that's 4. Another C, another S, that's a group of 5. And then we have 3 more V's left in the group at the right. And we're now finished. And so we just count the number of tally marks we have. With chocolate, we have 5 and 2, which is 7. Vanilla, we have 5 and 3, which is 8. And strawberry, we just have 5. And if we wanted to know how many people were asked the question, we add 7 plus 8 plus 5 to give us 20. And one more survey, if we asked a group of people, in what month were you born? And they gave us the following answers. How do we represent this in a frequency table? Well, because there are 12 months in the year, we would need to create a table with 12 rows, each one being the name of the month. In column 1, that gives us column 2 to write the tally marks. And so we start one at a time at the very top with June, and we put a tally mark by June. And continuing October, we place a tally mark by October. September, we find September and we place a mark. April, we find April, we place a mark. And we continue going down the list, placing a mark next to every month. As we mark it off, here's December, we place a tally mark. June, July, February, May, April, May again, September again, October, and lastly June. And from the table now, we are able to give a number. In January, we see there are no tally marks, so that's 0. February is 1, March is 0, April 2, May 3, June 4, July 1, August 0, September 3, October 3, November 0, and December 1. And we can add those up to give us a total of 18 people in this survey. To see more videos just like this, subscribe, like, and share on the Bahamian Mathematics YouTube channel. And now it's quiz time. What are the total tally marks for dog in the table below? Time's up. We can see next to dog we have a group of 5, another group of 5, and 2. 5 plus 5 plus 2 is 12. Question 2. What is the number of students who chose math in the table below? Time's up. We can see by mathematics the tally marks, but also the number 7. Question 3. Which fruit in the table got 21 votes? Time's up. We can see mango has a group of 5, another group of 5, another group of 5, another group of 5. That's 4 groups of 5 is 20, and 1 makes 21. Mango got 21 votes. Number 4. Which book had a total less than 5? Time's up. We can see that all books have groups of 5 except music only has 3, and so the answer is music had less than 5. And last question, how many people were surveyed in the table below? Time's up. To find out how many people were surveyed, we just add up each one of the tally marks for each category. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 2 more gives us 16 in total. And now you've solved the mystery of how to create frequency tables from a set of data. Well done.